Hello. This is a bit of almost a mini thoughts on where I am looking at PL Operandi Alpha 8. Ignore the voice lines. I'm looking at the C point of this map because that is the majority of this map that I played on and I have the most thoughts on. So this is primarily going to be on C point, this point, where we are right now. Primarily with how much trouble I think blue team has on it. Now, note, of course, you can have a control point that's hard to push. However, in this map's case, I think it's a little bit too hard. That's primarily due to the pathways here, which consists of 5, actually. There's quite a good amount of ways to get into this area. You have the main bomb path down here, which goes under here. Goes up. Yep, it exists. Then you have over here this right doorway, which blue team comes in usually from here or from over here. So you're going through here, out. You have this one over here, which blue team also walks up to, which goes out here. Then you have this lower area down here, which if you're coming out here, you need to go straight ahead. Go this way, and you can either use this doorway, keep going, go through this way. Now, there's a problem that I see with this general layout right now. That's at the moment, once the cart pushes through this doorway, once it gets to like anywhere around here, this doorway becomes irrelevant. Blue team never attempts to push through it because it is in a very unfavorable spot. You have red team always watches over from this catwalk here, or you could be over here. You could be over here and kind of see from there. You could be a sniper over here or over here. This is generally a kind of unfavorable spot to be in. It could work, but at the current moment with how red team sets up generally around here, this route gets forgotten pretty quickly. I haven't seen blue team really try to use it, kind of on a basis of blue team not really being guided towards it. They go through here, and you could go through this way, but you don't really see it when you're walking through here. You probably see your teammates up here, and it's like, okay, I'll go with my teammates. The problem then is that now you have, if this one's out of commission and blue team's not using it, you now have 4 doorways that could be used. This one is weird. It's primarily used for red team to get through this area, but I don't really think it's that good for attacking due to the fact that this is a very closed-in space. You walk through a very short doorway, by the way, and I think it has to be like that because you see too much into here, which may be a pretty big problem. So you go through this small doorway. This area up here, this high ground, and Kim just watches over this, and then red team always has some sort of defense set up here. So this doorway sort of becomes a spam fest with each team trying to dole out as much damage through this as possible, but this is very hard to push out of. It's very easy to just keep blue team in here because this is such a small doorway to get through, so it doesn't really work out too well. The other doorway that gets majorly used is this one, which doesn't see the issue too much. Blue team actually can kind of get a hold in here and be like, okay, let's push through. Sort of reaches the same problem of being viewed from everywhere. This being able to be viewed from everywhere, you have this area. Red team has a defense set up here, up here. You can be on top of this block as any class, which I think doesn't really work that well. I'd get rid of these pipes, so only certain classes can get up there. Soldiers, devilmans, engineers that really want to. Just make it harder to get to this area. Make it a commitment if you're not a jumper class, of course. So blue team can come through here, but it's also It's a little bit of a weird one. I think it's also because it's a little bit of a small doorway. You're going straight through. You're trying to push through this one, but then all of red team is here to watch over it. The other two doorways, the other two routes, this route here, never gets used by blue team, which I think is a little bit of a disappointment, because you head through here, you're probably going to be heading up here, or you could try your heart out here. I saw people playing around here, but what never seems to happen is people decide to push through here. This route almost never gets used. As a matter of fact, the first time that I played on this map, I didn't know this route existed. I thought it was only these three, which I think I left that in my feedback of blue only pushing through two small doorways, because this was it. This never got used by blue team, which is a bit of a shame, because I believe it could be a very powerful push for blue team. Now, blue team comes from here, they go over here, and then they flank around. Now, they can still be seen from up here, but they avoid this sort of catwalk. And they can get to the cart if it's down here, so they can get over here if they want to. While being covered from here, maybe they still have to contest this pretty high point. This is it's a little area that I'm not sure how I feel about, but I won't get into too much. But they could get over here, they could start attacking from here, they could flank, they could go completely straight underneath this, and then start like hitting enemies from below. And it's something that it could be used really well. And then even more powerful, I believe, is down here, where now you've completely flanked the enemy. Any enemies that were up here have now been completely flanked. They have to worry about, like, we have to take our attention away from up here, have to attack from here now, which is a nice open doorway for blue to push through, because then they can get to the cart if it's here. They don't have to push out from here. They don't have to push out from these areas. They're so far away. They push out from here, get to the cart. These two doorways could be very powerful, I believe, but blue team never uses it because blue team never realizes it's there. Which I believe part of it is just how you're guiding the players. Players are being drawn in from here. They're going in from here, which, either way, this is a little bit of a weird sign. You could just have this be C. I realize you are going to B from here, but I don't believe blue team actually ever gets to use this while B is not kept. You have a similar system going here, where it's like, this opens up to C, but you go through here if you want to get to D. You should probably do the same thing with this, because it says B, you should highlight that it's C, not B. So you go through here, and you go to one of these areas, but players are never really drawn to here. They never see the doorway until they turn around and that such. I'd highly recommend seeing how blue team plays and seeing what routes they take, because I never saw any real coordinated pushes through here. Blue team never really used it. And I feel like it could be very, really powerful if blue team just knew it was there. And I feel like you could direct players a little bit better, because I feel like blue team would use it a lot more if they're being drawn almost this way, in a way. It's like you're being taken down this path sometimes, maybe, and then you see, oh, there's a doorway I can use here. I can go all the way over here, probably get planked a little bit from this. This is a little bit odd. I can go all the way over here and start attacking from here. A very powerful position, but that doesn't happen. You instead get thrown sight on. So this area is the least likely place for a blue team member to be here. So instead it's just, okay, closest area is up here, which it's also the closest area for red team to get into. If you lose this doorway and red team gets in here, they retake and B. But yeah, I do believe that this little area could be utilized a lot better. You could have blue team coming in through here, and it creates a little bit more dynamic other than the meat grinder fest that becomes of these two doorways, with blue team only taking these two. Because I genuinely never ever saw these when I was playing this map. I never realized, wait, blue team can use these. I didn't know what they were. I didn't see this one ever. I didn't see this one ever. Because I was playing on red team. I was playing Devilman. I was primarily here. I was shooting over here, but I never really paid attention to this one. It just never crossed my mind. So I was like defending these two ones and maybe this one, but again, blue team just never used it. It was just really unfavorable. But yeah, I feel like with the utilization of more routes, potentially this one could get used more, these two routes being used more, I feel like you could improve how this area plays a lot more. It can still be hard for blue, sure, but it should be in a way where blue team at least doesn't have to go through just these two doors. It should be able to use these two. And with a little bit of player guidance, I feel like that will improve how this area plays a lot. This video was originally going to go over kind of the rest of the map, but I really only played primarily here, so that's why this video is only about this area. And so that's my thoughts on C Point of Operandi. I really like this map, I do want to admit. Even though C is not really, it's not in the best state that it could be, I like this map and I feel like it could be a lot better. I do feel like some of the routes need to be simplified a little bit. Some of the player guidance definitely needs to be a little bit better. But I feel like with the improvement of this area, it's a step in the right direction for this map. And I feel like this map could end up in a place, could end up in a spot where it plays really well and it is it's fun to play on. So, no, I do not believe that this map is a lost cause. No, I do not believe that you need to scrap this whole area and start from scratch, from the beginning. This area could probably, I don't know how I feel about these windows. That red team can shoot through them. Blue team can't really do much about it. That's my only thought on those. I got sniped a few times from this area and I felt absolutely defenseless because it's like I can shoot whoever's here, whoever's here, whoever's here. Which I feel like this is a little bit bad because, you know, if you want blue team to be able to go through here, they should have some sort of cover, some sort of easy time getting to it. So hopefully everything I've said makes sense and you're able to watch this video and be like, yeah, I see. I hope you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, again, I do like this map. I do feel like it could be going in a right direction from what I've heard. You just need to just keep it up and this will reach a point where it is fun to play on. So that is it. I don't know if I ever do any sort of outros for these. I think for other 3 times I've done this, I'm just rambling, but yeah, thanks for taking the time to take a look at it, to watch this, take a listen to some explained feedback, and I hope it does all make sense. So thanks.